We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are whole. We are whole. We are whole.
Good morning. We.
One more time, come on.
Oh, welcome to Unity of Louisville, where we just kind of make it up as we go along. So, where our mission is to transform ourselves and the world through love. And I'm Rev Ray. I'm the senior minister here, and it's my honor and privilege to greet each and every one of you and welcome you to our wonderful home. If you're watching us online, welcome as well. So I always like to do a few announcements, just to acknowledge those people who are here in service on Sunday morning. We have Robert Bagley back on our sound booth, who is also going to be doing Daily Word. We have my beloved Robin on our PowerPoint today, our ushers, our greeters, our our pianist is Judy Meyer. Our song leader is Deb Reinhardt Brochus. Our Valerie speaking, and John Gage is our special guest musician. Let's welcome everybody. You know, you ever get one of those times where the bifocal is right in the wrong place, and it just can't seem to. My far and my near were right in the middle, and there was nothing. So, all right. So let's open in prayer. Let's just take a moment and settle in. And from that place of joy and laughter and open hearts, we allow ourselves to become present. Present to this moment, present to this day. Open and receptive to that living Spirit of truth. Surrounded and enfolded in the Holy Spirit, that whole Spirit of God, that Spirit of grace, of love, of faith. As we come together this day, we come to allow what we hear to move us, to guide us, to inspire us, to challenge us into new ways of being. And from that place of gratitude, that place of joy, we say, thank you, God. And so it is. Amen.
Please stand and join us for our first song, I Release and I Let Go.
I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God.
Thank you, and you may be seated. Unity is an inclusive, compassionate, prosperous spiritual community, and one of our favorite things to do, recognizing and seeing the unlimited possibilities for all people. One of our favorite things to do is acknowledge anybody who's here for the very first time. So if you're a first-time visitor, would you raise your hand as I'm raising mine? Any first-time visitors? We do have a couple here today, one up front and one in the back. So we're giving you a packet of information about the Unity movement and also about the Unity Church itself. There is a card, if you take it downstairs to our welcome desk and fill it out, we will give you we have a little gift for you. Also, there is a candle being given to you that's a gift from the congregation, so that after the service we can notice you and answer your questions and be extremely kind to you and be helpful, because it's your first time here, so you may not know your way around. And there's also an affirmation on that candle that says, as you light this candle, remember that light, that Christ light already shines within you. And all that is important, but I think it's important for you to know that wherever you are on your spiritual journey, you are welcome here. We welcome you, we bless you, and we behold the living presence of God in you. Can we greet our first-time guests? And as that welcoming, inclusive community, we always like to greet each other. I always say we can do that in a variety of ways. You can do it with a handshake. You can do it with a hug. You can do it with a wave or a blessing. But let the other person be in charge of their life and ask before you hug. Let's greet each other.
I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God.
Thank you, and you may be seated. We like to anchor our service with an affirmation, and this is our 12 power for the month, and it's the power of zeal, and we will this one together. I enthusiastically accept my good and go forward to achieve my purpose. And now our affirmation for our series on practicing inclusivity. Say it together. Together. We practice inclusivity and create a world that works for everyone. And now we move into a time of prayer and meditation with the singing of the Lord's Prayer. At the conclusion of the Lord's Prayer, there will be a time of silence as our energy workers and oneness blessers bless the congregation.
O Heavenly Spirit, who in love abideth, we worship Thee, we praise Thy holy name. Teach us Thy children evermore to love Thee. Thy will be done in earth as heaven today. Teach us Thy children evermore to love Thee. Thy will be done in earth as heaven today. Oh, give us grace to meet the coming morrow. Forgive our debts as others we forgive. Thou leavest not Thy children in temptation, and from all error Thou deliverest us. Thine is the kingdom, Thine the power and glory, world without end, forevermore. Amen.
And so it is. Good morning.
Morning.
So the word for today is prosperity. And as you look around the sanctuary, don't be fooled by the low attendance, because this is an abundant church. We are receiving unexpected income, which is really good. Sunday, October the 14th, 2018. The affirmation is, I am grateful for the many ways prosperity expresses in my life. My prospering thoughts find expression in my life in many ways. I enjoy an abundance of love, peace, health, and happiness. And I pause regularly each day to appreciate my many blessings. I could do that more. The same blessings express whenever I focus my creative thinking on my finances. No matter what my ego mind may insist, I know that I have nothing to fear. I am one with divine mind, and fear has no place in my consciousness. I am guided quickly and easily to choices that will lead to financial prosperity in my life and my community. In quiet moments of meditation throughout the day, I appreciate the ways in which my life is prospered now, and I call upon my gratitude to gently dissolve any sense of lack I may perceive. And the Bible reading is from 2 Corinthians chapter 9. The point is this: the one who sows sparingly will also reap sparingly, and the one who sows bountifully will also reap bountifully. I'm grateful for the many ways prosperity expresses in my life. And so it is.
Make me an instrument, Lord, of thy peace, as I let go, as I release. Make me an instrument, humble and free, as I awaken the living Christ in me. As I awaken the living Christ in me. Make me an instrument, Lord, of thy peace, as I give love I receive. Make me an instrument, humble and free, as I awaken the living Christ in me. As I awaken the living Christ in me.
So as we move into this time of meditation, if you haven't already done so, I invite you to just gently close your eyes, if you're comfortable, to the outer world. Give yourself that permission to step apart for a while. As we close our eyes to the outer world, we turn our attention to the inner world, the inner sanction. Jesus told us to go within, to close the door, go within to that inner sanctuary of our heart. As we do, we set an intention. We set an intention to have revealed to us. What are our barriers to including everyone? What stops me from seeing my brother and my sister as a living expression of God? Who do I see on the outside? And what need I do? There's the question. What need I do to open my heart to seeing the oneness in all people? We can disagree with the form and yet still see the truth in another's being. And as we ask these questions and we rest for a moment in the silence, we know, we affirm that the presence, that power of God within us will reveal to us what we need to know today. So we take a few moments and we rest. We rest in the assurance and the stillness of our heart. now we take a moment and allow our attention to come forward again, once again, into the space, into this time and place. We do so with a grateful heart for that time to step apart, that time to connect with that divine presence within us. We know and we affirm that the questions we ask, that which we need to be revealed in us, has been revealed, and we have the courage and the will and the strength to step forward in faith and live out of that which we have heard. And for that awareness, for that gratitude, that we're on that ever-evolving spiral, that ever-evolving unliftment of our consciousness, we say, thank you, God, and so it is. Amen.
The stream sings it to the river sings it to the sea sings it to the boat that carries you and me. Somos el barco, somos el mar, yo navego en ti, tú navegas en mí. We are the boat, we are the sea. I sail in you, you sail in me. The boat we are sailing in was built by many hands, and the sea we are sailing on touches every land. Somos el barco, somos el mar, yo navego en ti, tú navegas en mí. We are the boat, we are the sea. I sail in you, you sail in me. Sing that last part with me. We are the boat. We are the boat. We are the sea. We are the sea. I sail in you. I sail in you. You sail in me. You sail in me. So with our hopes, we set the sails and face the winds once more. And with our hearts we chart the waters never sailed before. Somos el barco, somos el mar, somos el mar. Yo navego en ti, yo navego en ti. Tú navegas en mí, tú navegas en mí. We are the boat, we are the boat, we are the sea. I sail in you, I sail in you, you sail in me. I think we do that again, we can create something really magical and wonderful. Somos el barco, here we go. Somos el barco, somos el mar, somos el mar, yo navego en ti, yo navego en ti, tú navegas en mí, tú navegas en mí. We are the boat, we are the boat, we are the sea, we are the sea. I sail in you, I sail in you, you sail in me, you sail. Last time we are one, we are the boat. Here we go. We are the boat, we are the sea. I can almost hear you. I sail in you, you sail in me. Turn the volume up a little bit and sing it again. We are the boat, we are the sea. I sail in you save in me.
Thank you, John. That was great. How many of you made it, were a little uncomfortable there for a minute? How many of you were just a little bit uncomfortable when we had to sing in a foreign language? Was I the only one? Okay. Sometimes it's challenging, isn't it? When we don't understand, but yet we do. In the boat, in the sea. So are you willing to get in that boat? Are you willing to be the sea? Because it's going to take all of us to do what? To be inclusive, to create a diverse environment. We're going to have to change as individuals. We're going to have to grow as a community. It's going to be uncomfortable. How many of you are ready for uncomfortable? Yeah. Okay, remember that you held your hand up and breathe for the next 7 weeks or more as we continue on this new journey. Because it's not only going to be a change for us as individuals, it's going to be a change in this space, right? We love our spiritual community. And when we practice inclusivity, that spiritual community is going to change. If we invite others in that are different from us, we have to be different. We have to sing different music. We have to do different dances and meditations and allow other people to step up and share their gifts, their culture, their being with us. Are we really ready to do that? Okay, breathe. If you haven't gotten your transformational workbook yet, we have a few downstairs. This is a really good practice. And that's what it is. It's a practice to move us from where we're at right now into new, whatever that looks like. Because I don't know. I have no idea, really, what transformation will take place. I know what transformations have taken place in the past, and from that memory, I can project where we might be next year, next week. But I don't really know. And sometimes the unknown is scary, isn't it? Yeah, it's a little scary. So that fear can keep us from being inclusive. And in order to shift, we have to look at what our individual fears are. And that's pretty big, because I don't know about you guys, but I got them, right? And I think everybody does. So one of the basic fears is just our basic needs and wealth, whatever that looks like for you. Whatever, it doesn't mean wealth from that, having everything that you want in the world. It's, are your basic needs getting met? And so how do we talk with someone and work with someone whose basic needs aren't getting fed? And are we willing to do that? Are we willing to walk across the street and say, I'm here. I'm willing. What do we need to do? Instead of complaining because it looks like it does. That's part of the change that we're going to have to face. If we don't face it now, it's going to continue. And what persists is what is created. So we're willing to change it. We're willing to brainstorm and take a step to perceive it in a different way and to allow others to do that same thing. Because we're all stuck, whether we live under the bridge, whether we live in a neighborhood, in a trailer, in the country, in the city, in the urban space, we're all stuck. We're all seeking something, and we don't know what it is. And that's global. It's not just right here, right now. We are a global community. We no longer can hide the fact that we all have basic needs, and those basic needs have to be met worldwide. The differences that keep us from allowing them to be met keep us in struggle and in strife, which we don't want to be in. We just sang this morning that we want to let go of the struggle and the strife. But the differences that keep us there are race, cultural differences, religious differences, which to me are all the same. We grow up in a culture with a religion based on some factor of the color of our skin or who we are, who our heritage is, where we come from. And in reality, we all come from the spiritual realm of the universe. But we don't see it that way in the human self. We see us all as different. And the truth is, we're not. I remember in the 60s, late 60s, early 70s, whatever that time frame was, when we had the riots in Louisville. Anybody else remember that time? I remember it distinctly because my father came in from Frankfurt that day when he heard about it, so that he could talk to us, the three girls. My brother was in college at the time, so the three girls, we were all there. And what he told us was that this is what is going on in our world right now. There's a lot of confusion, there's a lot of anger, there's a lot of hurt. And what I need you all to understand is that no matter what color your skin is, it doesn't matter. What matters is the person that you are, how you carry yourself, because there's good and bad in every race. There's good and bad in every religion. There's good and bad in every culture. And from that point on, I realized that I had to be different in order to create a new life for myself and for my friends that I didn't even know who they were yet. But what I did know is that I am of the human race. And so from that point on, whenever I have to check what my race is on something, I have put human. And I'm sure I've been kicked out of a lot of systems over the years because I put other human, you know? And I have done that since I was 14, 12, 14, you know? My children grew up doing that because they would say, Mom, what's our race? I'd say human, because that's who we are. And I learned that day from my dad, because he didn't want us to be afraid of other people. He didn't want us to be afraid of other cultures. He wanted us immersed in it. So I grew up eating Chinese and going out to different festivals and going all over the place and being immersed in different cultures, whatever they were. Italian friends, Chinese friends, Japanese friends. It was just this world of difference. And I was blessed by that. Sometimes it's really uncomfortable. You know, I get uncomfortable too in it. I work with, women and families that are homeless and in recovery. And sometimes I'm just like in awe that they survived and they've gotten to where they're at. And it makes me uncomfortable when I hear the stories of what they've gone through. And I have compassion and empathy for them. And I don't always know what to do or what to say, and so I just don't do or say anything other than to send them love, because in that moment, that's all I can do. But it's recognizing that I am uncomfortable, so I have work to do still after all these years and being immersed in diversity. Even here at Unity, probably that same time frame, when yoga came, Reverend Frank Hansen almost got fired because he brought yoga to Unity. And the elders were like, well, what is this? We're not doing this. We don't want this here. And this is Unity. And now we have yoga here whenever we can. Whenever somebody will say, yes, I'll teach yoga. And we all go. But it took some of the younger folks saying, wait a minute. This is who we are. This is what we want. They didn't understand when we were back in the YOU room listening to the guru, meditating for an hour. They couldn't understand that. They didn't, it wasn't part of who they were. And so even in Unity, there's strife. And that's what we're going through right now. So be prepared for the changes that are coming. It's not going to be the same. So breathe and know that that's the truth. The other difference that shows up a lot is I'm right and you're wrong. Yeah, that one's tough because we all can go there. We can all judge. I know I do it from time to time, and I catch myself and I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. So we have to begin to look at self-awareness. We have to know what we're thinking. We have to know what we believe, not just what we say we believe, not just what we say we do. We really have to know who we are in order to change, and to change with ease and to change with grace. And that's what we're doing in this workbook. It's making you look at those things. It's making you look at the way you think. It makes you look at your belief system. And allows you to change, to create new pathways in the brain. Because so many of us, when we get into that space of uncomfortableness, we go back here to this reptilian part of our brain instead of working from the frontal lobe. We freeze, fight, or flight, which is why we have so much conflict in our world, because we live back here all the time. So it's part of our job in unity, because we know the truth. We know that we have to live from our frontal lobe. It's what we teach. It's that consciousness, that conscious living skills come from the frontal lobe. And so if we do nothing but invite people in and share with them what we mean by consciousness and how they can interact and be and change their lives, our lives are enriched. Their lives are enriched. But we got to invite people in. We all live in our little shells, right? I do. You know, I'm here, and if people come in the door, great. You're so welcome here, right? We all are. We love it when people come in. We love it when we have newcomers. We love to talk to them. But when we're out here in our everyday life, do we tell people who we are? Do we ask them to come to church? Are we afraid that they're going to judge us because we're different? We don't think and have the same values that they have? Or whatever your reasons are? I know my reasons. I'm still working on it. I've grown a lot. I didn't talk about unity because I grew up in unity. I hid that part of myself from the public eye because it made me so different. None of my friends meditated. None of my friends grew up talking about the God that's within me. They all had some exterior God out here that I did not understand and could not comprehend. When they asked me where I went to church, I did not tell them. And so I had to learn to grow, especially when I decided to become a leader in the church and say, yeah, this is who I am. This is my truth. And that was hard. And sometimes it's still hard. It's easier for me just to stay behind my little wall in my little safe space where I don't get judged. Right? Anybody else feel like that, or am I the only one? Yeah, okay, good, thank you. And so we have to be open and willing to be judged. We have to be open and willing to share who we are and to be that light, that beacon in the world so that people know that we're here and that we actually think like they do, because they really think like we do. That's the thing. How many of you all are here and you came here, and when you got here, you were like, oh my gosh, people think like I do? Amen. So everybody else there, they want what we all have and what we are and who we are. So invite them to come in, whoever they are. Whoever your friends are, whoever your coworkers are, if they're seeking something, if they're hurt and you can feel it, invite them to come in. And we've done this before. We've invited world religions in. We've had every faith in here. We've brought all kinds of people in and shifted and changed. And then we pulled back and said, no, I don't want to do that. That's scary. I don't want to be one. I want to be unity. Well, guess what? In unity, we are all one. There is no difference. The things that we truly, truly are is no different. And so that's why I'm saying, are you willing to be open and inviting? Years ago, Walter Hutchins, many of you know Walter, did a class on race relations because that's what he did every year. He worked with Black History Month and created all the festivals and shows and talks in February every year. And one year he had a class here on race relations. And what the question that he asked is, how far do you have to go to find someone of a different race, a different culture, or a different religion in your neighborhood? I have to go in my living room typically because my children grew up with biracial friends, different cultures of friends. They grew up in an inner city school by choice. We live in the inner city by choice. The furthest that I have to go, if none of those people were in my house, those people, their friends, my own kids, my grandkids, would be across the street. But half the time they're over at my house anyways. You know, we're back and forth all the time. The kids were back and forth all the time. The adults are back and forth all the time because we're not different. We all bleed the same way. We all love the same way. We all get to grow the same way. So that common vision is where we're headed. And what does that look like in unity right now? In unity of Louisville. What is that common vision for all? That we can all be comfortable, we can all participate with different music, different perspectives, a different spiritual community. Take a breath, because that one's big. We have to be authentic. We have to be committed. We have to be compassionate. We have to have empathy, not just as individuals, but as a community. We have to be all of those things in order to create the change that we want to create in the world. We have to start right here, right now, with ourselves, with this community, before we'll see it out in the world. So participate in this vision, participate in the work that we're doing, if you're willing. And if you're not, let us know very quickly. I mean, I'm serious, you know, because this is where we're going, this is where we're heading. Everybody, let's go together. Be in the boat, in the sea, because we are all God's creation. We are all part of the same universe. There is no separation. We are all one. We are all love. And so it is. Namaste.
I had things to say, but having heard what Rev Val said, all I can do is say what she said. So there's this song that we've sung before, and we've assembled a team here to help me sing it, but I think all of us will know it, and it cries out for group singing. And that's a celebration of our inclusivity. Everybody is in the choir. This choir is everybody. This is one of the last songs that Pete Seeger was involved in writing. And I noticed when he was 92 years old, he was out teaching this song to people, especially young people. When we look, we can see things are not what they should be. God's counting on me.
God's counting on me.
God's counting on you.
God's counting on you.
There's big problems to be solved, so let's get everyone involved. God's counting on me.
God's counting on me.
God's counting on you.
God's counting
Together,
on you.
together we'll all pull through. Together we'll all pull through. Together we'll all pull through. Me and you. Sister, brother, next of kin, no matter what faith or color of skin, I'm a lot like you.
I'm a lot like you.
You're a lot like me.
You're a lot like me.
So put aside every label. Invite the world to our table. God's counting on me.
God's counting on me.
God's counting on you.
God's counting
Together,
on you.
together we'll all pull through. Together we'll all pull through. Together we'll all pull through. Me and you. When we hear the voice of hate, we know the world just can't wait. Love's counting on me.
Love's counting on me.
Love's counting on you.
Love's counting on you.
Every day in the way we live, be the gift love wants to give. Love's counting on me.
Love's counting on me.
Love's counting on you.
Love's counting on you.
Together we'll all pull through. Together we'll all pull through. Together we'll all pull through. Me and you. Don't give up. Don't give in. There's a better world to win. Hope's counting on me.
Hope's counting on me.
Hope's counting on you.
Hope's counting on you.
May we live in the grace of beloved community. God's counting on me.
God's counting on me.
God's counting on you.
God's counting on
Together, together we'll all pull through. Together we'll all pull through. Together we'll all pull through. Me and you. This is what it's all about to me. Singing together. So let's stand up.
Yeah.
You can do it. Here we go. Together we'll all pull through. Together we'll all pull through. Together we'll all pull through. Me and one last time, everybody. Together we'll all pull through. All pull through.
Together we'll
All pull through. Me and you.
woohoo! Okay. Thank you, John, for that reminder. Yay. John and your team. We're really blessed. So now as our ushers come forward, we take our gifts into our hands. And any prayer requests that you might have written, take those into your hands too. As we do our prosperity proclamation together. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive.
Together we'll all pull through. sister, brother, next of kin. No matter what faith or color of skin, I'm a lot like you.
I'm a lot like you.
You're a lot like me.
You're a lot like me.
So put aside every label. Invite the world to our table. God's counting on me.
God's counting on me.
God's counting on you.
God's counting on you.
Together we'll
all pull through.
Together we'll
all pull through. Together we'll all pull through. Me and you.
Together we'll
all pull through. Together we'll all pull through. Together we'll all pull through. Me and you.
Woo! All right. And now let's bless our offertories. Together, we are stewards of divine abundance. We give and receive with gratitude, and so it is. So today we have our community cafe and potluck in the activity center. And for those of you that don't know what a community cafe is, well, I made it up because we do that here. Because it is, well, you know, and actually it's World Cafe or Courageous Conversations, which are both trademarks, so I came up with Community Cafe. So we're going to have some questions out on the tables after lunch, and we invite people to come and answer those questions. As a community, what are we, who are we, where are we going? There's various questions about diversity, about inclusion. And we're going to build on that because we're going to do it again on November the 14th. So some of you are in small groups and some of you are not. So we created a different way this year to create community, to talk about how we're different and how we're alike, to talk about where we're going. And that's what the community cafe and the lunch is all about. And we do have various kinds of soup, and there's some bread, and there's some cookies and drinks, so join us. We're going to eat lunch first, and then we'll do the questions. Our annual Halloween party is coming up on Saturday, October the 27th. And of course, Dottie and the youth are looking for any volunteers that want to participate in helping with any part of that. And know that you can wear your best or worst costume, whichever you choose, and join in the costume parade. There'll be games and prizes and dancing. So bring the kids, bring the grandkids, and come yourself and have some fun. And then we have all other kinds of stuff going on, so take your bulletin. The community movie is next Sunday. That's 15/17 to Paris. So just know that there is a lot going on. And we have a lot to offer, so invite your friends. Invite your family, even though that's scary. And now for our prayer for protection. Please stand. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well, even when we're uncomfortable. So now for our peace song.
United all our Namaste, y'all.